Good morning. Today I am going to chat a little bit about work-life balance and what the secret to it is. That's actually kind of an icky word for me, or phrase. I don't really like it. Just because no matter how hard I try, I feel like my life is never perfectly balanced. I try to do my best to have routine and structure, but let's be honest, it doesn't always work. But I do get asked about this quite often because I have two toddlers and I have another baby coming in a few weeks, 17 days to be exact. I'm not counting or anything. But there are a couple things that I've learned through the years that make balance seem a little bit more attainable, or at least life a little bit more pleasant. So I wanted to chat more about that. So first, we have a great babysitter. I was really against sending my kids to a sitter in the beginning because I wanted to, I kept thinking, well, I started my own business and quit the corporate world so that I could have more time with my kids. But I learned along the way that having my kids go to a sitter a few hours a day, a few times a week, actually makes me a better mom because I'm more focused when my kids are here. I'm focused on my kids, and when they're not here, I'm focused on work, so that I'm able to separate the two and enjoy both and do my best at both. The next thing is date night. So my husband and I are pretty diligent about date night. We don't go out every week. Sometimes, I'll be honest, it's just watching a movie, putting away our phones. Sometimes it's folding laundry by candlelight. Just kidding. Although sometimes we do have to get super creative. But the point is, it's important for us to have our time together without work distracting either of us or without the kids distracting us. So the last thing is systems. And I know I've been talking a lot about these lately on my blog and in my Facebook Live. And then I've also had the course released. But before I systematized everything, I was seriously working close to 60 hours a week. That wasn't awesome. It was hard on everyone. Now I work much less than that and very rarely work nights or weekends unless I have a big project that's coming up, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty exciting that I'm at that point in my business, and I'm grateful for that. So regardless of what tools or practices you have in place, it's super important to honor the time that you have set. Boundaries are absolutely critical when you're an entrepreneur. You have to create time for your family, and you have to create time for work. Just like I mentioned, we send our kids to the sitter a few days a week. It's so that I have time to work, and I set those boundaries. You have to also recognize that when you own your own business, you're never going to get to a point where everything is done. You're always going to have work to do. You're always going to have some marketing to do, some follow-up, phone calls, emails to respond to, projects that aren't complete. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on in my list, I'm sure. So you have to set those boundaries and just understand that things are never, ever completely done. But being diligent about your to-do list and what you have to do and prioritizing your days and your weeks is super important to setting those boundaries. The other thing that's been really helpful is to set a quitting time and schedule regular days off, just like you would in the corporate world. I know that's hard to do and hard to even think about, having a quitting time, but your family will love you for it. And I'll be honest, they're going to be more likely to respect your working time because you're making time for them. And when you quit for the day, actually quit. Make sure you're not checking your emails, your texts, your phone calls. It's a hard habit to get into, but I promise you that being present with the people that you love will actually make you a better business owner. So that's my big tip with work-life balance, is making sure that you set boundaries and that you stick to them. So I actually am going to challenge you this week to set some boundaries, set a quitting time. Whatever that is for you. For me, it's usually about 3 o'clock in the day. My husband comes home shortly after that, and so I like to have time with my family, and so I very rarely respond to emails after that. And the more habit you get into and the more you set that as a routine, the better things will run in your business. So I encourage you to do that. Have a good week, and let me know how it goes. See ya.